It's Friday, Feedback Friday, the feedbackiest day of the week. It's always fun to do that because it's the last bit of major energy I need to exert on a week like this. Yes, Midna, I'm sorry I woke you up. Midna the cat's right here next to me. It's Feedback Friday, and there's a lot of comments I picked this week because it's been kind of a slow week. This time of year tends to be, but the comments were quality. And that's what I like. I actually might take this somewhat more assholey approach to mental health advice because I found the conversation. There's Midna. Hi, Midna. How you doing? I woke you up. Oh, shunning. Okay. So, I don't know. I kind of like the rough and tumble vibe. I'll see. It was kind of fun and felt authentic. Let's do the help support this channel, and then help support this channel. Become a monthly patron, patreon.com/LeannaK, or buy a one-time Leanna Care session for someone who can use but can't afford it, coffee.com/LeannaK, or the men's groups and ancillary projects that has kind of exploded in scope. GoFundMe, link to everything in the description boxes below, as well as a link to sign up for Leanna Care sessions. It's been a couple of barn burner weeks for Leanna Cares. I've been working with quite a few people now for about a year, and that's when a lot of the big breakthroughs happen. And in the case of trauma, so many times this week, I've said to people, like, your brain is healing, and that's why you feel so shitty. That's the fun about healing from trauma, is when everything reassembles into a more fully functioning unit. It feels just shit at first. And it's a lifelong project, but as long as you feel the progress, you can keep going. But yeah, I remember what that was like, going through it and not understanding what was happening to me. So for me, the ability to take the shittiness that has happened to me and be able to make things a little, it's not easier, but it's less lonely for other people. That just helps me with, my ongoing recovery. So that's rewarding work. And everybody's tired. Everybody's tired because it's October, and I happen to like fall, but yeah, don't feel bad if you feel extra fatigued. A lot of people are going through it. So let's get into the comments. Yay. Okay. This comment, I just, I'm starting with the asshole video, and then I'm going to do a few on the advice versus support video, because I thought it flowed better. The asshole stuff sets up the advice support questions. So it said, why am I such a simp? Leanna says something about chew toys and wanting to see how much someone will squeak. My brain decides to remove the clear context and just thinks it was to volunteer. I don't think I ever actually understood the idea of a simp before. I'm still not sure I understand it. But I don't know. I thought that was really cute. They followed up by, thanks for the thoughtful content. I could probably stand to be a bit more prickly, but it's not in my nature. And I don't know. I don't want everybody to have to, cuz I mean, part of me being an asshole, a lovable asshole, but an asshole, is because that's what I need to do to stop the PTS from becoming PTSD again. And I don't know, people who are a simp, I don't know, I love it. I think it's great. Don't change if it's working for you. That's so cute. I didn't think anybody would, volunteer to be a chew toy, but I've learned something today. I don't know. It's like every so often something makes your day in a way you did not expect. I love it. Okay, so where are we now with the yeah, here we are. Okay. Can people feel validated without their versions of facts being validated? Many can, of course, but this is a question I often have when trying to connect with others. And the simple answer is yes. You know, most people recognize that there are two sides to the story. Most people recognize that no one has fully perfect recall, and that the truth of a situation is usually in between the two positions. Now, a lot of people don't speak precisely. And this is a big thing that I talk about again and again and again in clients who are on the autism spectrum who do speak more precisely. And so have trouble code switching from neurotypical, which is language that is just grunts that promote feelings indirectly, and then actual precise speech. And so most people, as long as you say, I understand you're upset. I care that you're upset. Let's just figure out how to solve the problem. They do not need a fact for fact breakdown, because a lot of people, in general, this is another thing. A lot of people speak in accusations because they're avoiding using their feelings. And when one client this week, I noted that he was using a lot more feeling words in his communications this week. And he gave me this look like, you got me, which is, I mean, that's major progress. Actually feeling your feelings and able to communicate feelings. That's huge progress. But it was like this moment of, don't make this weird. It was so amazing. I just loved it. But it is a sign of maturity when someone can actually focus in on, this made me feel scared or frightened, on the spot. Someone may say, I felt attacked. That's a sign of maturity, to be able to separate feelings from facts. This is why I think and I feel is such an important separation to me. But some people who are not as comfortable being open, being authentic, because they feel too unpleasantly vulnerable. Maybe that's why I like simps, because they're fine being vulnerable. They're like, I'll be your chew toy. I love that. The world needs more of that. Um, I still got to figure out what that word actually means. I'm so tickled by it. It's awesome. But the you'll get a lot of people saying, you're attacking me. And well, it's just not accurate, right? It's not. No, you had no intention of attacking someone. And this is where the whole idea is intents don't matter, only outcomes matter, is just toxic, toxic, toxic. Because of course intents matter. Of course. And you don't deal with somebody you believe is actively trying to attack you, at least I don't, as opposed to a person who is just emotionally compromised and not thinking about what they're saying. They're just reacting, right? And one of the things I do first in conflicts, especially online, is I try to ascertain whether someone is just thrown and speaking imprecisely, or whether they're just an unaccountable, dark triad traits, ship stain. And the two things can look very similar at first blush. They are not the same thing at all. And so, um, if the, it's all about how you go about validating the feelings, but not the facts. If you want to stick to the feelings because that's what you can validate, And that's the de-escalation concept, right? You don't go, you're wrong about everything, but I understand that you're upset. No, somebody's not going to like that. But if you don't want to fight the facts because you do think the person got it wrong, but you want to calm them down to get to the point where a discussion can be had, um, it's look, I understand you're upset. It's really funny how many people get very defensive when I say, I get that you're pissed at me. I'm not mad. They can't admit they're mad. They're totally mad, but they can't admit. And I'm okay with that. Like, but it's like, let's, just because you're mad doesn't mean you have to be out of control. But oftentimes, and it sucks to be falsely accused. And if someone is making an accusation, that is going to make the discussion less likely to have a positive outcome. So it's totally fair to set a boundary and say, look, please don't, please don't accuse me of things. I understand that's how you felt, but it isn't what I was doing. And that often pulls it down. But if you're just trying to focus on the facts, because, if you're just trying to focus on the feelings to de-escalate, just stay away from the facts. Now, sometimes the facts do matter. It is like, look, I understand you're upset. That it didn't happen that way, and I have evidence it didn't. So let's figure out what's going on here. Let's figure out the disconnect. What you're trying to do is give someone an off-ramp so they don't feel like they're fighting to the death. Now, some people will just not do it. You're only responsible for your half of the conversation. You can't control the other person. And some people, when they get embarrassed or they hit over a certain stress threshold, they do just blow it up because they don't know how to resolve conflicts. That is not your fault. Just do what you can. That was a long answer to a fairly short question, but hopefully I gave you some tools. One person said, I do my absolute best not to be assholes to nurses. They do an amazing job for not enough pay and next to no safety when it comes to abusive patients, coworkers, and management. I had to draw the line when I was in the hospital. I'd been admitted and no one told me why I was there. I was trying to get some sleep without my CPAP, and in the middle of the night, a nurse comes in with a syringe, cap off, walking towards me, saying she was going to give me a shot. She refused to identify the medication. I have medical allergies. Who ordered the medication or what the medication was for? We almost had to call security because I was ready to actually fight. I felt bad after I was discharged, but I do have to admit I was legit scared. That's an exception. That's not being an asshole. Okay? That's not. That is a trauma response. It is not the same. That I have medical allergies as well, including to some antibiotics. And I am also opioid resistant. So opioid painkillers don't work on me most of the time. That's a fun combo. So yeah, I want to know what medications I'm being given, because the amoxil allergy I have is a brutal one. So yeah, that's not being an asshole. That you were legitimately in threat mode. And I wanted to read that comment. So the commenter knew that, no, that nurse made a mistake. She should have just calmed down, de-escalated, accepted your feelings. That's not being an asshole. That's being a frightened person. Not the same thing. Another comment. Is it possible to develop healthy trauma responses in being an asshole? For example, my brothers would not stop pestering and annoying me when they thought they could get free money from me. When I started saying no, they tried wearing me down. When I would try to hold back laughter, just knowing how much power over myself I really have. Looking back on them, like, that's pitiful. There were no threats of violence when I knew it wouldn't get them anywhere. Years ago, I personally did try to avoid being the asshole by others. It was frightening because, like a lot of others, I don't want to upset people. But now I see it as good fun with those certain types of abusive people. I've heard some of these types referred to as concern trolls, the types to say something like, it would be a shame if you were to not get opportunities because of the thing you said and didn't apologize for in 2010. The types of manipulation tactics they can use to try to control you through the social pressure to not be an asshole. They seem to get shocked when I strike back, showing that they have no power over me, that I refuse to give it to them. It's glorious. I do kind of kick myself a little for not embracing being a bit of an asshole sooner, and that sometimes reflects on the characters I write. My inner Alexis, a character I made and still use because she's fun, is the manipulate the manipulator to never manipulate again, make others uncomfortable if they try to do the same, shame the shamers. God of War Odin would absolutely hate her. Yeah, that's exactly it. That if that you're not getting angry, you get asshole. So it's like, no man, I'm not giving you money. Nope. Nope. Totally unbothered. That's the way to do it. And that what it does when you're just like, nope, or making a joke or come at me, bro. Yeah, bring it. I mean, that thing you described about it'd be a shame if you don't get opportunities because the thing you said and didn't apologize for in 2010, those people, even if you did apologize, they don't care. They're going to try to hold it against you. And so it's like, if somebody's going to hold something against me that I said in 2010, that is only an opportunity to be abused. And so, yeah, it's just, I don't care. You cannot be a remotely public person for any period of time and not say something that's going to rub someone the wrong way. And there's nothing we can do about that. Some people are going to hold it against you. And it's not usually people who saw the original quote in context. It's people who just heard about it from somebody who heard about it. And it's broken telephone. And there's nothing you can do about that. There's nothing. That's just life. And it's happened to me. I mean, I talk quite a bit of I can never run for politics in this country because there's pictures of me in chainmail bikinis and cosplays and things like that. And, the way the conservative strain of politics is, they will shame me for that and it will be effective. Now, am I shamed by that? Not really. Am I frustrated that people treat stuff that was just fun as bad for women? It frustrates me. It does. It's wrong. People should be allowed to have fun in public, not hurt anybody, and not have it be this gender traitor shit. And this isn't something men have to contend with in the same way. I mean, God, there was that Republican that did drag and he just said, it wasn't me. And it was totally him. And he's still fucking there. We'll see come re-election, but I suspect people will forget. But, if a woman has any fun anywhere, well, you're a slut for life. And it's really awesome when you go beyond a certain age where there's sort of a stigma to that. So you still get that, but you also get, well, you're a slut that nobody wants. And that's when it's just, do fuck off. This has nothing to do with my opinions. And it's amazing how many leftists do it too. Like the most popular leftists go after people on those points and then claim to stand for social justice. They really don't. They're just bullies. They're the bad kind of asshole. So yeah, I know it's done a lot for my stability to just not let people push me. And the reason I put it as be an asshole is precisely because they're going to call you an asshole. They're going to call you names. So what? Who the fuck cares? They're doing that to control you. So embrace the asshole. That sounded wrong and very evocative. Right, Slimer? Right. Cthulhu knew this was going to be a shit show. One person said, I wish I could do this, like be an asshole, but can't due to my Christian principles. Dude, Jesus flipped tables. Jesus had moments where he was an asshole. And those are the best Jesus moments. Like when people were questioning him about why there's, divorce rules in the Torah in the Old Testament, when marriage is supposed to be between a man and a woman forever. He's basically like, well, because you're all stubborn. And I mean, he comes in and it's like, he was without sin, cast the first stone. He's like, nope, we're not doing this. There's so many points in the Bible where Jesus mic drops. He is not this totally like simp. Jesus is not a simp. Jesus is an asshole. He's not violent, but he takes no shit. And that's part of what got him in trouble. But, you don't have to be a pushover to follow the teachings of Christ. There's an Anglican priest online. I used to work with him before he was a priest. His name's Michael Corin. And he's the pro LGBTQ priest who's written a bunch of articles for various sources. And he dunks on people all the time. And he stays above board. He stays above the belt. But he dunks goals. He does it so well. And another person said, this was in the support versus advice bit, should be noted that the fake "how are you feeling" is the go-to dirt collecting phrase for parents and managers looking to reprimand you. And that is absolutely true. I wanted to, even though, there's a lot of support in the comments that, saying just asking someone if they want to talk, even if they don't take you up on it, does help. Even if they're not ready to talk, they do appreciate it. There are unscrupulous people who get information out of you and then use it. And fuck those people. Those people should be, kicked out of organizations, and it is totally fair to go no contact on those people if you can, because that is a betrayal. There are people like me who are very serious when we ask, how are you feeling? There are people who do that and then use it to get dirt. I mean, Gen V, the boy spinoff, has a character like that, and she's horrible, evil. If that does happen to you, that is not your failing. That is not your transgression. That is theirs. That is bullshit. And, if someone did that in my organization, that manager would hear about it. That would not go over well with me. This is, I think, the last one. Yes, the last one. Okay, good. Just coming in at time. One question I have is, at what point does someone constantly coming to someone or someone's with a chronic problem for support become soliciting advice? I've had people in my life operate as energy vampires by constantly coming with the same issue to me, and I'm happy to listen a couple of times, but the third time, we either need to try putting our heads together, or I'm just not willing to listen to it anymore, even though I still care about and want to help the person feel better. Sometimes it's serious issues, even like physically dangerous, but the person coming to me just wants to use the issue for some quick sympathy. I don't get how I'm supposed to handle that other than LCNC, which really sucks. I'm not sure what LCNC is, but I'll answer the rest of the question. The rule of 3 is fair. You have the right to set boundaries of how much time and attention you're willing to devote to a particular problem. That's why I read this after the comments on be an asshole. It's good for you. There are people who are chronic drama llamas. and they do suck up all the oxygen in the room. If you suffer from things like depression or feelings of hopelessness, they're constant complaining on the same issues can trigger some symptoms. That's very real, and you have the right to set boundaries there. I think that um it is totally fair to say, look, you know, I I've tried to support you. It's not getting better. I think it's time for a change here because you've been upset about this for a prolonged period of time. Now, I will say, watch the people who are frequently complaining about relationships, like complaining about another person who is not there. It happens sometimes, but when it's chronic, that can be some nefarious stuff, or they're, not a reliable narrator. Um, it's totally fair for you to say that a single problem has become too much. Now, if someone's got PTSD and they are in a flare up, they're having symptoms, they may talk about the same thing over and over and over again because they are legitimately stuck. Um, it's fair to set boundaries. Totally fair. Just keep in mind that people in that situation may need to talk about something again and again and again, even if it's something from childhood. However, you may not be equipped to be that person. That's why somebody like me does what I do, cuz I've got the foundations in place. I have the ability to process that stuff. I Part of it is training. Part of it is having been through it and knowing what I would want, how I would want another person to react in, you know, listening to me. And that makes it easier for me to not take it on or feel drained. I can feel my heart can break for somebody, but it doesn't bring me down. Um, and like you said, I still care about and want to help the person feel better, but you're starting to get the sense that they're just, hit the buzzer, get sympathy. And you know best in your situation. Um, Somebody who is sincerely hurting and just struggling to move on um, will understand you saying, like, look, we this is not getting any better. What you can say is, I don't feel right being passive about this anymore. Let's see if we can find some solutions. A person who's coming to you in good faith will not turn that down, because if they felt that bad for so long, anything they can try to do differently to feel better, they will try. They may have heard it before and it may not have worked, but they will be open to the idea. If someone is not willing, after that extended period, to see if there's something they can do to change their circumstances, you know, um, oh, I think LCNC is light contact or limited contact, no contact. Um, there is kind of minor gray rocking technique you could do. Something like, yeah, it's, sorry you're going through that. It sounds really hard, and leave it at that. Minimal thing. Don't really engage with the drama after a certain point, because yeah, you've heard it all before. And I don't like calling things drama, but in this case, like you're saying, that is someone who is not really interested in helping themselves. This is someone who is interested in complaining about something to get sympathy. And, if they want that, there are people who do that. I I don't tend to take clients who just want to complain, because as far as I'm concerned, that reinforces the negative spiral, that reinforces the feeling of helplessness, and I'm not interested in doing that. So I usually refer them to 311 so they can get a more conventional therapist who that's what that is for. um the methods I take are people who are tired of feeling this way and do want meaningful positive changes. And uh so you're well within your rights. And the purpose of that video was like, make sure you don't skip the support step. It did not mean that you have to be an unending well of passive support. Support, P, not fort. Support. So thank you, commenter, for giving me a chance to clarify there. That's it for Feedback Friday. Hey, the week is over. Help support this channel. Become a monthly patron, patreon.com/LeannaK, or buy a one-time Leanna Care session for someone who can use it but can't afford it. Coffee.com/LeannaK, or kick some bucks into the GoFundMe for the men's groups that are going to be starting soon-ish. The next couple weeks, we're just starting to get our arms around how we're going to do this. The Patreon and Ko-fi Discord beta has been very, very active. So we are adapting accordingly. Great problem to have. Thanks for watching. And I'm not ready. Oh no. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.